And it's, especially if you don't have a steady hand, you're nervous about going with a liner, this is going to be super helpful because Guy Beauty eyeliner duo, it has this like built in, I've showed it to you guys before. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out so I can show it to you all again. But it has like a built-in guide. So this essentially, you can rest this on your cheek and create the shapes that you want to create in perfection, because it's just gonna, stay in one place. Kind of like using a protractor when you're like in elementary school. And this can go right into the gel, and you can use that to easily create the shape that you want. And so I highly recommend this for people who are just getting started with eyeliner, or if you're in a rush and you want to make sure that you always have precise and seamless eyeliner. I definitely recommend this. This is going to be a Luxe Longwear eyeliner. It's in gel format, I believe. That's for me, in my opinion, that kind of formula for eyeliner is the most long lasting one. Um, and it just also super, super, super pigmented. But today I'm going to go ahead and use another eyeliner that I have here, because it's what I have open and I'm trying to like finish it out. But I'm using also, I highly recommend using brush tips. That can be super helpful too. This is going to be a little bit trickier if you're not comfortable, doing it by hand. So that's why I highly recommend the Guy Beauty if you're not used to doing eyeliner like that. And I think this is actually getting a little more dry, but here we go. So what you want to do is you kind of, again, you're going to follow that part, right, that was created. And so what you can do to start off is you can also create lines for yourself, like little dots. Just like that. And then you can go back in and fill that. So what I'm going to do is actually even start down here first. And I like brushing inward because I feel like I can connect it to my natural eye shape as opposed to starting like this and going out. And I actually need to grab my mirror so that I can see rather than using the phone right now. But yeah, I like brushing inward. And so like that's where I want my end to meet up with each other. So I know I need to go in this direction. And then pull down and sort of like create guidelines and then fill in. And then I want it to go like that. Little strokes, a little at a time. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the top part of my lash line. Try to get a little bit closer so you guys can see this. But yeah, this can be tricky, so I can understand how it can be frustrating. That's why I highly recommend, if you're doing this for the first time and you're just getting into doing your own eyeliner, or you just don't have a steady hand and never had that, I definitely recommend the guide one because it's just so much easier to use, um, as opposed to freehanding it. Okay, so I got my shape here. Now time to fill out this top part. And I like to start at the beginning, light strokes, so we can darken it afterwards. A thinner line allows us to reshape and rework it to the shape that we want. So I see here that I want to go thicker on top as opposed to thicker on the bottom, because I like the shape of my bottom, but I do want it to be more visible up top. So I'm gonna make sure that when I'm adding on, I add the thickness to the top of the line as opposed to underneath. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just thicken that up. I think this is also super fun for like Halloween looks or like um, a really fun like vacation look when you're like out of town, you're like, doing it up. Um, and I like that beginning part to come down really thin. You also don't have to go this far in. You can also just start from like over here. But I like for this lip to go in a little bit more. What are we thinking so far? Does it look good? And like with this too, like I recommend that you could even try like using the gold liner to then create like a double line. And then you get like this even more glamorous look. So again, just about building pieces slowly at a time, little by little. So now I actually want to match the thickness here, so I'm going to get this to be a little bit thicker as well. Also, another benefit to using the guide liner is that it won't dry out. Like this dries out on me a lot. Um, but yeah, love this. Love a bold eye, a graphic eye like this. Um, Now the tricky part is doing the other side the same way. So let's go ahead. Like I said, remember we create little guides for ourselves. All right, create a little shape. I'm just looking back and forth to see if I'm also matching the shape of the other eye. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and line that up with that side, pulling it in, looking on both sides. Again, just trying to match. And I actually have a hooded lid on this side, which is very different from this side. So that what that means is like I have a lid that sort of overlaps and flaps down. So that creates a change in my liner. So I usually will just create the liner, not how it looks like when my eyes are unfolded, but how it looks like when it is folded, because most of the time I have my eyes open and looking directly at a person as opposed to like looking down. So it's always good to just, when you're doing your eyeliner, to try to make sure that you do it eye level, especially if you do have hooded lids. Okay, so I'm just trying to get my shape right now. And then I'm going to pull it in just like that. Then we're gonna fill it in and go and do what we did to the other eye, which is filling in this lash line first. Oh, oops, I just closed my eye and messed it up. Okay, so we made a mistake. What do we do? You can see I made a little mistake right there. Don't panic. That's the last thing we want to do is panic and get frustrated, um, because I make mistakes all the time. I've been doing makeup forever. But if you have a thin little brush or even a Q-tip, this is a perfect time to whip that out. You're going to take that, take a little bit of your concealer, place it on your brush, pat out any excess amount, and you're going to literally go in and cover up that mistake and reapply your eyeshadow. See, just like that. Mistakes happen. It's okay, guys. And with the same brush, because it's the same exact shape, I'm going to go ahead and pat the eyeshadow right over that. And there we go. All fixed. No panicking here. Okay, let me go ahead and finish this eye with you guys because it is already 3 o'clock. And normally we're wrapping up at this time. But while I talk about that, here is what I've been using to prep my face and